Hey there, my friends, family, and ranch files. Doc Pierce here, and it's May 22nd, 2025. And I thought you might have some trouble getting to sleep these days, so I thought I'd make a boring video for you. You can watch this and doze off to sleep. I thought if anybody's interested out there, I'd give them a garden tour and just show you what's growing. And spring is here. It is so nice. I love the spring because everything is growing. I don't know, we're not going to go around the whole place, but we'll start over here with the figs. Planted six fig trees last year, and all but one are coming back. They died down right to the ground, and I was really worried that they weren't going to come back, but this is the only one that didn't. He's dead as a doornail. Hello, Jersey girls! And Jersey bull. Didn't want to offend Oni the bull. Hey, rooster. This guy knows I give him food, so he's following me around. He's never attacked. Well, he came after me once, and I grabbed him and held his head to the ground for a few minutes, and he's never bothered me since. I guess that's the way you're supposed to do it. Somebody on YouTube said that's what you do, and it worked. You know, if it's on YouTube, it's got to be true. Peach tree, wild pear tree. One of these days that's got to come out. I don't like a wild pear tree. And the thing has doubled in size in the last 5 years. This is a peach rootstock. The grafted peach on top died, but the rootstock lives on. So I'm going to let it go and maybe try to graft one of the other peaches onto this, because it's hard to get trees started, and as long as that one got started, I'm going to see if I can take advantage of it. The vineyard's looking pretty good. All but one are alive and kicking. And, can't believe it, we might get a few grapes this time. Look at that. I think in the 5 years I've been here, I've had maybe a dozen grapes. But I never really fertilized or watered or did anything like that, so I can't really complain too much. This was the one grape that was here, and it's even got some grapes on there, and they were really good. First couple years I'd get one or two, and they were, it's growing into the pear tree, and they were as sour as can be, so I never messed with fertilizing it. But last year, the grapes that came out, you know, all four of them, were really delicious. So this year I'm taking better care of it. There you go. Hang in there. It's your job to hang on, grape. And look at that one. That's just year 2 for that guy. What? Oh yeah, they like grapes. They like anything. They were pecking at my blueberries. They were green, but they don't care. They're still pecking, knocking them off the bush. So if we ever get to the point where we're harvesting many blueberries, I'll have to figure out some exclusion methods to keep the birds out. Cherry trees, got 3 cherry trees in the ground. This is a black Tartarian, I think is the name of it. That is a Montgomery, and that is a Bing. And the Bing has made it through last year. I planted that one last year. Planted these two just a couple months ago, and they're replacements. I planted several other cherries in there that didn't make it, so hopefully they'll make it this time. Let's look at the melon patch. The melons have started sprouting. About half of them sprouted, the other half I replanted. So you can see that one there. Nothing. But that's a melon. Those are melons. Uh-oh, doggone. See how that's caved in? That's mole damage. Got moles that live all under my high tunnel. They create so much problems. That one was replanted. There's a couple that are growing. Got the irrigation system hooked up again. It's working well. So we'll keep an eye on this and keep you updated. Strawberries, there's still a few in here. See if we can find one that's good. Oh, let's see here. Oh, it's not bad. Oh, that one's not very good. I throw them over there and the chickens pick them up. Bee, get out of there. Come on. Bee actually does some damage too because she tries to get the moles that are under the fabric. So she's tearing up the fabric trying to get them. Trying to keep her from doing that. These are beets. Two different varieties. I think one was Detroit and I don't remember the other one. I didn't know which was better, if they would both come up, but they both came up. So that's looking pretty good. Last time I tried beets, this army of insects came and cleared all the greens off them overnight. It was these, I forget the name of the bugs, little striped bugs, beetles. So I don't know what we'll do about that if it happens again. Oh, some strawberries. That's a pretty good looking one. Good to do some grazing. That's the peach tree that was here when we moved in, and it is loaded with peaches. Look at that. There's a bunch of them in there. Now we got the Japanese beetles that'll be hitting at some point, and they really take out most of the fruit. But hoping maybe I can put some fruit bags over it. Oh, there's already bugs flying around up there. Hopefully we'll save some of it. We don't get peaches every year. This is something new. These are called sunchokes or Jerusalem artichokes, or they're commonly known as fart chokes. They're supposed to give you a ton of gas, but they're perennials. They come back every year without replanting, and you dig up the tubers underneath. So I thought I'd give them a try. And then these are all sunflowers. I love sunflower seeds. So we'll see how those go. I planted in this area last year, and the weeds just within a month obliterated all this sunflowers. So we're trying it with landscape cloth this time, and hopefully that'll do better. That landscape cloth, I'm telling you, if you haven't used it, it is just a game changer. I know I probably say that every other video. Let's see, what do we got here? These are two plum trees. One is a Santa Rosa. The other one, I forget what it is. See, this week, my project, got another row of the blueberries almost in. I'm 4 plants short. I had 4 die over the winter. And so they're all different varieties. There's probably 6 or 7 different varieties. No bee. She smells the moles underneath the fabric and just goes for them. You can see some of last year's blueberries actually have blueberries on them, which is pretty cool. They say the first couple years you're supposed to pull them off and not even let them berry because it'll take longer to grow. Oh, dang, nabbit. Did you do this? Is this your work? It looks like your work. Well, that's what I was talking about. See, she was in here trying to get the moles. So she tore all this up. Dogs are going to be the death of me. Over there too, digging. Stay out of my blueberries. Go on. That was another replacement there. This is the most expensive blueberry I bought. It was like $50 or $60, I think it was called. It's a Bountiful. What is it? It's like a cultivar. What is it? I forget the name of it. But that's an expensive one, so I figured I'd buy one, and then if it does well, I'll propagate it. And it's doing as good or better than any of them. So that's good. Oh, that's the blueberry patch. Just assorted fruit trees. There's a Pink Lady apple, Macintosh apple, Gala apple, Fuji apple, I think another Gala over there. That's a moon glow pear tree. And look at this one. This is only the second time in 5 years that this has got fruit on it. I don't know what kind of pear it is. Hope they ripen up. It looks like the same kind as over here. And these are good pears, but they're not the kind of pear that I really like. These don't get soft. They're just the hard, crunchy pears like an apple. They taste good. Bugs like them. So if I eat them, I have to do a lot of cleaning or just ignore the bugs. And I haven't gotten quite to the point where I can ignore the bugs yet. Apples are growing. They're looking great. Going to be a good batch for apples too. No late frost this year, which is really wonderful. Let's see what we got here. We got a pecan tree. And I think that's just a rootstock because the cultivar that was grafted on died, but the roots stayed. Next to it is another apple. I think it's a Gala, Bartlett pear, another pecan tree. This is the apricot tree. Once again, the graft died, so this is just the rootstock, and it's going crazy. I don't know if rootstock, some of them, they use good trees to make rootstock with, but I haven't seen any blossoms or anything on this. But once again, this is the apricot that still has the graft on it. So hopefully we'll get some off of that. It's coming along. It's looking better this year. Everything's kind of taken off this year. Last couple of years, nothing. Thornless blackberries. Look at those. They're coming along. Blackberry, 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 and then raspberries. And these died completely to the ground. I thought, they would come up and grow on the stalks like blackberries, but they don't. Or at least mine didn't. So raspberries and blackberries. Let's see here. I think that's about it over here. Fig trees. Jersey cows, Jersey heifers, I should say. Wish they were Jersey cows. These are black walnut trees right there. Get tons of black walnuts, which are really delicious, but they're incredibly hard to crack and get the meat out. Even worse than them is I've got some hickory trees down below. Hickory nuts are delicious, but impossible to get the nut apart and get the meat out. Well, hello, brown dog. What you doing, Kai? Oh, you're a smiling dog, huh? Well, last time I showed you the greenhouse, the tomatoes and everything were about 1 inch high. They're all doing well. I don't think I lost, maybe one had to replant. So that is a squash plant. I forget the name of it. Starts with a T. I forget the name of it though. It's supposed to be squash bug resistant. So we'll check that out. And then there's a row of peppers. Those are all sweet peppers, bell peppers. There's 2 rows of those here. These were 2 bargain bin peppers. They were not labeled, so I got them $1 a piece at Lowe's. And this is the broccoli and Brussels sprouts from 2 years ago. Came up as a volunteer second year, and this is like the 3rd year. So I don't know if they're ever going to produce, but the ends have little flowers on them. And they're really delicious. Just no big broccoli heads. Okay. Shouldn't talk with my mouth open. Here is 2 pecan trees. The grafts are still alive. I think those are hardy pecans. I've got to get those in the ground this time around. And there's another pecan, but you can see the graft died and the rootstock is still living. So I don't know what rootstock they use on pecan trees. It might be just terrible to plant those. But once again, I'll try to graft it. I've got a grafting tool. I just haven't had any successful grafts. Here's the cauliflower, cabbage, and broccoli. And we're trying this net system over the feed tubs. And so far so good. I don't know if you can see in there, but there's 3 big heads of cauliflower. My loquat tree, not loquat, kumquat tree. Another Bing cherry. I've got to get this outside. It's turning yellow. That's not good. He needs, or she needs to be planted really badly. Pawpaw trees I dug up. They're, showing signs of life. I'm hoping there's roots growing down there too. This season will tell. Volunteer celery. Here's a cherry tree. Same old story. The graft died, but the rootstock survived. You can see it down there. So once again, I can try to graft some of the other cherries onto this one and get back to a cultivar. This is passion fruit. I found a wild passion fruit on the back of the property, and they are delicious. So I propagated probably about a dozen of them. I'm going to try to plant along the barbed wire line. Get a whole wall of passion fruit would be awesome. Spearmint, peppermint, raspberry, volunteer tomato that came up. I'm just going to gift that to somebody. Maple tree, rhubarb, lots of onions. You saw those before. Oh, here's the thing I did today. These are the cucumber plants. So I set them up with the nylon trellis. The nylon trellis works pretty well. That was my other project today, is I got this all anchored down. When I'm not actually growing the plants, I just unanchor it and roll it up like you can see in the middle one right there to get it out of the way. But since they're all getting to the point where they need to be trained up, I don't want them to flop over like that one over there is doing. Oh, like that tomatillo's doing. I've got to get those trained up there. Yeah, see that? Can't let that happen. I was a little late on those two. And these are zucchinis, more pawpaws, and I think 5 out of 7 of the pawpaws are growing, which is fantastic. Whoop. There's mole damage. I got some poison worms for the moles I'm going to try. Boy, they're expensive. I hope they work. And blueberry starts. These are the ones I did from the blueberry patch last year. About 2/3 of them have not made it this far. But there's still quite a few in there. If they would just start forming roots, we'd be up and running. But I've checked a few times and still no roots. Miscellaneous, just fill in tomatoes, celery. Most of these I'm just going to gift out. These are extras I don't really need. Here's all the passion fruit I was talking about. So hopefully those will go and I'll transplant those. Strawberries, these must have all been June bearing because they all put out a ton of fruit and then just kind of died back. And like I mentioned before, there's always something that happens to these strawberries every year. And sure enough, I turned my back and the chickens got here and ate 2/3 of them. But they're still alive and kicking. I just don't think I'm set to do strawberries. Anyways, folks, that's the tour. I should probably charge a double next time. Well, much love and many blessings. Doc checking in, not checking out. See you next time.